And welcome into Dawgs Central on a Tuesday evening. Hope you guys are having a good start to the week so far. I'm Graham Coffey. As usual, I am joined by Josh Hancher and John Smith, both of Twitter /Dawgs Central fame and Dog Stats. That's you, Josh. But yeah, we are here for our weekly film review. Didn't really nail the intro, but we're going to nail the film review. How's it going, fellas?
Hey, Graham, Georgia nailed South Carolina. I'll tell you, if you're talking about nailing something, that's what we're about to watch today. That was a thrashing.
I'm always just trying to figure out what feeds are actually working, but it seems like a lot of them are.
So, producer,
I got notifications popping off all over the place, so I think we're on. This is multi-platform excellence, gentlemen.
I know.
On Twitter, YouTube. If it broadcasts, we broadcast to it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of places that we don't go to. I don't know, the whole Twitch thing, and we could go if there's Twitch people out there that demand us to be on Twitch. Just hit us up. We'll get on there.
We'll keep getting better, and and the audience will demand that we get bigger. That's the way it works, guys. So let's get into it.
We got some
stats
coming down here.
Wow.
Yeah, we got some stats. We've got lots of plays. Do you guys have any overarching thoughts or things that you think we should be on the lookout for before we hit these plays?
I think there's a lot of talk in the fan sphere of the running game, and I think generally the tone of it is we got to find something to worry ourselves about. I posted today a stat why I'm not worried about it. We've talked about it in previous leading up to the South Carolina game. There's a lot. It's just, we're moving the ball. I don't care how we do it. I prefer to see us short pass, long passes, runs, whatever it is you're moving the ball we'll show the later over 8 yards of play. I don't care how you do it, dude. So, I think you touched on a lot. You're going to touch on the offensive blocking, and I got some stats over there, but yeah, there's not much to say other than let's just keep it going.
Kirby said in his press conference last week that I think this was in the answer was that when he said there's a lot of things that y'all don't know about football, but in the answer he was answering about the run game, and what he was saying was a lot of stats on internally to the staff, a lot of plays that look like a pass play on a box score. They count them as run plays because of the way that the play is schemed up. So I think that's what you're going to see here. Graham and I talked about this a little bit before the show, and I know we'll probably talk about it ad nauseum as these clips start popping off. But the blocking of the skill players, everyone is bought in to blocking. So I don't think there should be concern about the run game. Georgia's moving the ball at a fast clip. And the staff internally, even, they do that in a lot of ways intentionally, where they scheme it as, for us, we think, we would consider this a run play, even though it looks like a pass on the field, which is very Todd Monken-esque. So,
yeah, for sure. One thing that I've got in these notes that I kind of want to point out is some of the things that are happening with the run game. Situationally, the run game is very successful. 9 guys carried the ball on Saturday. None of them had a lower success rate than 60%. So, that's really good, right? That's fantastic. But I think you're going to start seeing carries maybe distributed a little bit differently. If you're a Dawgs Central subscriber, keep an eye for a note on the forum when we get done with this show, because I just got a text message as we were coming on air about some of the rep splits in practice so far this week, kind of maybe switching up a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see sort of how they choose to approach it going forward. But I don't think it's an offline issue as much as skill players. Ooh, we got Big Josh here. Skill players maybe sometimes, not following their blocking as well as they could.
Yep, correct. Yep.
I got a little premature on the plays. You want to get into it?
Let's do it.
All right. Clip 6.
All right. Yeah, so this isn't a huge gain right here. This is the second play of the game, but this is what Georgia's doing right now. just 8 to 10 yard plays look really routine and effortless on every single down. I think Bennett probably watched tape and noticed that this defensive back drops off big time because it was something that we talked about on our show, just the amount of cushion. And so him and McConkey, like Bennett has said that he and McConkey basically see the game the same way, and he reads things the way that Stetson feels like he would if he was a wide receiver. So I think he just cut that route off where he felt like there was space, and it's an easy first down, basically. So John just kind of alluded to this, but like my theory is that Georgia is so unstoppable on offense right now because of that right there. Like, look at 1 and 2 getting downfield.
Rosemary Jackson.
Yeah, Rosemary and Milton getting out.
Yep.
This entire team blocks its butts off downfield at every skill position. And this is really fantastic work from Milton. I mean, like, this is, unselfish play, getting out there, gets ahead.
Bowers follows him just like, Bowers follows him just like Milton would follow Ratledge, You follow your blocks, and it's executed all the way around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, here's a closer angle here. But
yeah, and I mean, Rosemary for 3 weeks in a row now has been one of the 2 highest rated run blockers, graded out by PFF as one of the 2 highest rated run blockers on the team. So, like, he's going to continue to be on the field because he absolutely paves the way. So here you're going to see Georgia. They're just going to get a little what clip is this?
It should be. Sorry, you can't see it on your end. This is 9.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotcha. My bad. Yeah, it's the offense, right? Like, just until someone can make Georgia do something more difficult, they just put the ball on the edge, and there you see Bowers clearing guys out, Bell clearing guys out. Like, this is it over and over and over, right? And I'm waiting for somebody to try and stop this and make Georgia have to, like, throw downfield, but I don't know that anyone has the personnel to do it, honestly.
And then this clip is up next, and
yeah,
clip 10.
So, yep, Georgia's going to load up on misdirection, roll the pocket to give Ladd all this space out here, and then kind of come back, and you put him in open space, and it's easy. Again, you see Jackson downfield blocking, but this is kind of an interesting play design because the offensive line, you see all of them kind of coming down. Like, they look like they're run blocking. If you're a defender, you're going to read run block on this. And so Georgia runs these kind of split zone plays a lot where the formation and the movement looks the same, but Stetson just hands the ball off. And you're going to see another play later on where, like, Monken basically uses this to set up the long touchdown pass to Brock Bowers later in the second half, and we'll point it out when we get there. But put a little bookmark in your mind on that one.
This is the next play after that one we just watched.
So Jones and Truss do a good job on their pulls, but Ratledge can't really keep his man out of the gap. Ratledge is your right guard, 69. I mean, he gets off the ball okay, but kind of you see his back turned to the camera there. That's not really ever what you want to see unless the play is going behind him, basically. So not a bad play. It doesn't get blown up, but we're always asking, why is it not a bigger play? That's your answer. Why? Mm-hmm. This is a good one right here, clip 12. So the play is well blocked, and your back gets a clean 3 to 4 yards before contact, which is a ton in SEC football. Milton just doesn't really hit the hole hard there. Like, it feels like he maybe should have bounced this outside. I don't know. I'm not a running back. Like, I don't want to sit here and be too critical of anybody, right? But, like, right here, this is set up to go outside with Roderick getting on that. He's got a lot of clean space out to the right.
Yeah. I'll say one thing about this, and I think there are a lot of plays that we can talk about with Kendall and his vision and kind of running upright and those things. Broderick does get his head on the inside right there, and I think, like, one of the things when it comes to running back vision, you're looking for a couple of things. You're looking for open space. You're looking for where the helmet is of the offensive lineman that you're following. So when that helmet goes inside, I think there's some vision work that needs to be done to understand the rest of the offensive line in comparison, because it does look like, if you watch some of these clips, that Kendall is following a helmet. So if the helmet's on the inside, he's going to go on the inside thinking that, like, all right, this is, kind of where the lineman is trying to push the guy. And that is kind of how you learn, in your youth, playing football. You're following the helmet when you're following blocking. But at this level, you got to be able to have a little bit more vision there and be able to, look at offensive linemen engaged and make a different decision, no matter where the helmet may be. So that's something to keep an eye on as you watch film, as you watch, people wonder, like, why did he cut back there? What I've noticed is that Milton, if the helmet's on the inside for the offensive lineman, he's probably going to go inside. If the helmet's on the outside, he's probably going to try to bounce it outside. And that's not serving him well right now.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting because, like, this clip right here, if you want to go ahead and play it, Josh, this is Milton again. And watch Xavier Truss at left guard is going to absolutely pancake his dude, which is fun to see. But, like, he hits this whole downhill and hard. And this is just a straight ahead inside run. There's not much for him to read here. He does make a nice little bounce there, but it's pretty much give him the ball and go. And right now it feels like those are the runs that he's kind of excelling more on, where he's not having to get behind guys that are pulling outside. And I think something like with the outside thing with Broderick and the helmets, I haven't noticed. That's a great observation by you. But I feel like there's times where he's just a beat early, where if he kind of just, like, let this develop a little bit more, then the read probably becomes clearer for him. And, but I also get there's bad guys running at you, and it's your job to get as many yards as possible, right?
If I can interject the dog stats here, it's an interesting little drive. You showed 3 straight runs. First one was maybe not as good as it could have been. The 4-yard gain. That was an unsuccessful run. The next 2 plays gained what they needed to be successful. So that run gained a first down, 66% success rate on that particular series. And we're going to talk about maybe run efficiency and maybe not as big of plays later in the show, but that's a great example. And that's what they want to do. They're running the ball. They're getting 4 yards. They're getting 5 yards. They're getting 2 yards. They're getting 3 yards on, 2nd and 4. And then they're powering ahead on 3rd down, getting the first down. So, again, it's like they're moving the ball. And again, sure. Would we love to see 15, 16, 20-yard gains? Absolutely. But they're running the ball when they need to, and they're finding ways to move the ball, throwing it however short or long they need to. So sorry, I just wanted to throw that in there. I thought it was interesting. We had 3 straight runs on, we keep talking about how much we're passing the ball, but when they run the ball, they can run it efficiently.
100%. No, I think that's good.
All right, we
are on 14.
Yep. Touchdown, I believe.
And you guys have all probably seen this play at this point, but what I want you to watch is number 1 at the top of the screen. Rosemy lined up as the outside wide receiver. And he's going to block for about 4.5 seconds. Like, if you sit here and count this play in real time, he keeps 24 locked up for forever.
Yeah. That is full engagement right there by a wide receiver. It's truly, if people want to know why, so you have a lot of wide receivers that come into Georgia and they come in highly rated, and they have, tend to have all this on paper, all of this flashy skill, and they have a hard time getting on the field. It's because of that right there. Blocking as a wide receiver is a qualifier. And there are a few guys, Marcus Rosemy-Jackson is probably the best of that wide receiver group right now, but there are a few guys on the field who are fully committed to blocking, and that's a great example right there.
Yeah. Next drive after maybe 3 and out here.
So you've got you're going to see more downfield blocking excellence. McIntosh gets it. You put it behind your 2 big tight ends. I don't know how you stop this. Like, from a defensive coordinator standpoint, there's not defensive backs out there. There's maybe one a team, but, like, there's not a unit of defensive backs that are just going to be able to fight off superb downfield. And you can't just start taking backers and safeties out of the middle of the field and letting Georgia just gash you. So I like the genius of this for me is just I feel like Todd Monken like maybe is kind of stumbled upon something here that's just
we're losing Graham there. You there? John?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay. Graham, you there yet? You back yet? All right. Graham may be having to come back in. I see he's got a weak signal there. Dog out west is way out west. So, I mean, what are your thoughts so far on the first batch of plays here? I mean, like we've shown a lot of the running plays and like we've talked about, you know, the run efficiency and stuff. It's like Georgia's averaging over 5 yards a carry. You'd love to see that up closer to 6, but you know, but we're still like, you know, first in rushing efficiency. I mean, 56% rush success rate, you know, and that's what you want. You want to move the chains. You want to set up your position, your team on and in front of the chains and not behind the chains. And the running attack is doing that for sure. Graham, you back?
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, you're back. All right, and we're looking at
clip
20
storms here today, so
it's okay.
Right.
Y'all just keep moving. If you lose me, it's all good.
If we lose you, we'll just jump in. Yeah, just hunker down out there, Graham.
All right, we're back on play 21. Graham, if you can.
It's just kind of more of this conversation around Kendall Milton. I feel like right here is one of those plays where he kind of outruns his blocking help. You see him, you see Bowers there. I'm sorry, not Bowers. You see Broderick Jones, 59, heading outside the numbers. And I think if he just follows him around, you know, maybe he picks up 24 and that's a bigger gain. I don't know.
20.
You know, it's just, 22. So we're just going to have a little Stetson kind of head fake magic. This is very reminiscent of the Tennessee game in 2020 to me.
It was. I mean, Stetson, I don't think people realize how elusive Stetson can be. And also I don't think people realize how tricky it can be for some of these SEC defenses. They're not playing quarterbacks that can use their legs like that every week. I mean, I think, you know, people feel like they are, but Stetson Bennett, I mean, you know, when you look at South Carolina, KJ Jefferson KJ Jefferson is a good runner, but he wasn't as elusive as Stetson Bennett in those moments when you don't expect him to use his legs. So he did that a couple times this game. And I think, again, another reason why Kirby Smart said last year, they felt like Stetson the team needed his mobility. And I think you're seeing that again this year.
And I'm sure someone has spotted this and talked about it already, but I was actually watching it in Vegas at a sports book, and there's a guy that had money on the Dogs, and he talked about this play, and I was all fired up. He said, that was a dumb play. Shouldn't have stuck the ball out there. If he fumbles it and he slips out of his hands, it's a touchback. And then it was funny, right after he said that, you know, the Sky Cam had Kirby had grabbed a water ball and snatched it out of somebody's hands and was telling him to grab it with 2 hands. I mean, it was so good. It was such a, like, you know, everyone noticed the other Kirby moment on the sidelines, but I thought that was interesting that, I mean, that's, and I was going to say, you know, he has 1 or 2 throws a game. You're like, you know, you scratch your head and you wonder why or what he was thinking there, but he doesn't have him running the ball. He doesn't take unnecessary hits. He gets out of bounds. He gets down. He knows. I mean, it just seems like he's maybe occasionally his choice to throw the ball and when and where is, but it seems like run the ball. He's pretty smart and savvy, but you know, that's my thought on there. Even if Kirby got all over him or that trying to score a touchdown, but at any rate,
2 hands.
All right, 22. Anybody else?
We just did 22.
Yeah,
23. Yeah. So I mean, as we were talking about kind of the run game, it seems like in short yardage right now, especially on the goal line, the choice has just been to go behind Bowers and Washington. And I mean, I think it's a good choice, right? It seems to be working for them. But Georgia so far has been way better in short yardage and goal line running situations than really they've been in a few years. That's always been a pain point for UGA's offense, even with, you know, the guys they had on the line in 2018 and 2019.
Yeah, they are. Let me see here if I can find Georgia real fast. They are 82% on short yardage rush success rate, which is pretty good. I think it's 7th in the country. So yeah, and 33.
Yeah. So this is kind of interesting. This is a couple weeks in a row where the screen game is a big part of the offense now, and something has been kind of off on screens to Curious. Did we show that?
33? What?
Yeah, just the kind of the weird. There's something off in the chemistry between those two. They don't. They're just, these incomplete passes keep happening, and it's like I'm starting to think it's a Curious route issue more than a Stetson issue, because he's throwing screens to everyone else that seem to be in sync. And Curious kind of does this. I don't know. There's a way that he kind of continues to run away from the ball that's a little bit different than what you see from Ladd and McIntosh. Just a theory.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, I don't know for sure, but if you watch that clip, it does look like he keeps trying to go wide instead of coming. That play is really you're trying to get. There's a 3-yard window that you're trying to push a little bit up the field to get within that 2 to 3 yard window, but he keeps going wide. It feels like then pushing up a little bit. So. But that's
next play is 34.
Yeah, so he's going to recognize cover 2 zone here, and at the snap, he's just going to wait for Darnell to clear. But like he basically is going to see this zone coverage drop out and realize the linebackers are in zone and just throw it to Washington.
Sorry, that was 34. Sorry, I'm dealing with a technical issue. John, can you send out a tweet? We'll probably have to upload this to YouTube after we go out, and we're still on Twitter.
All right, sounds good.
There's 34. Sorry, Graham, where are you in your notes? My apologies.
That's the right play.
Okay, here's 36.
Yep. So Bowers is not going to get to his block in time here. And it just blows up the play. Nothing Milton can really do about it. I think that Truss is supposed to block the guy to his right, the left guard. Xavier Truss is supposed to pick up the guy that comes free, and instead he picks up the guy that I'm pretty sure Bowers might have been. I'm not sure, honestly, but it's an awkward reach for Bowers to have to come all the way around at the snap and try and seal that gap in that situation with kind of how that run action is. Something happened there. I'm not sure what it is, but clip 37, McConkey, this dude just always finds holes in the defense. That's not really an easy throw or an easy spot to get open. I mean, they're keying on him there, and he and Stetson just kind of read that exactly the same way. But
I want to look at it again when that ball was thrown. Because
that linebacker's crashing down pretty, crashing kind of towards McConkey there.
That is nice.
Like he's watching him. Yeah, 38. This drive, there's a couple of tight window throws by Bennett. This is going to be another one, like really nice play to McConkey, or I'm sorry, not to McConkey, to Rosemy there. Just kind of finding the holes in the defense, picking these zones apart. And that's something they kind of struggled with against Samford at times. Samford played a lot of that like drop 7, drop 8, heavy zones across the kind of 10-yard mark, and it seemed like Georgia was better with that on Saturday. And then this is the touchdown pass to Brock Bowers, and it's just basically like, this is unguardable. There's nothing you're going to do about it.
He guarded it. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, he got 2 feet in. This is a touchdown in the NFL. I mean, look at that. There's one, and then that other one comes around down right there. Toe tap.
Crazy. Yeah. I tweeted out that he's got a future career as a ballerina if he wants it.
I don't think. Yeah, we don't have to belabor the point, but people don't realize like he's controlling his foot on that clip. Like it's not like it's just randomly falling, his toe randomly falling there. Like that body control is just insane.
Yeah, it's absurd. It's like Michael Jordan and Air type of body control.
Yes.
All right, so you're going to see Darnell come across here, and this is a rare miss by him in a run blocking situation. He just doesn't get low and inside enough on this crashing end, and kind of blows it up for Edwards.
He knows right away.
That's a rare miss. It's a rare miss.
That's what I said. Yeah, it's a rare miss. And then this is kind of this weird sort of like fadeaway jump shot throw that Bennett tries to get the ball to McIntosh on the screen.
Yeah.
That's not really a throw you want to see him attempting up 21 on his own 10-yard line.
No, this is, Bennett was throwing up the play before the series before, and I was throwing up when he was making this throw right here. So I thought for sure, I was like, when I saw that thing hang up, I was like, this is about to be a pick six.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it wasn't.
Fortunately, there was no one over by the numbers, or that one would have been.
And it was weird, I didn't put the reverse angle on there, but I mean, it was open. Like I don't really know. I mean, it was going to be a big play, but it was just the pass. I don't know if the defender got in his way. Yeah, it was a whoopsie for sure. We got away with 57, Graham.
Yep. So just nice seeing Don Blaylock playing in significant moments and making plays, and this is a nice in-stride throw from Stetson. But number 8 kind of start helping to pick up that load a little bit with A.D. Mitchell out is encouraging, and you like seeing Monken establish all these weapons. And then this is just another absurd kind of athleticism play from Brock Bowers. Like, I'm pretty sure Stetson's trying to throw that ball away, and he just scoops it off the ground. Maybe he's not. I don't know. It's just
no. I think you're right. I think he's just getting rid of it. He's got a good defender in the area, and it was like, I mean, it was remarkable. I mean, the guy's a freak. What can you say? And he's our freak, though.
Yeah. And then, he's our freak. This is kind of that like reverse pass, almost pass. This is a good decision by McConkey to not run it, and then he does like the Reggie Bush sideline move to 2 defenders there at the end of the run. Like, I think a lot of people have had a lot of interesting things to say about what Georgia's offense is and isn't so far this year, but what McConkey can do in space is kind of one of the run, in my opinion.
61.
Yep. So good ball by Bennett, and I think this probably gets charted as a drop for me because I know that the defender gets in there, but like that's a play that, let's just say it, that's a play A.D. Mitchell makes 8 times out of 10 probably. I mean, it's kind of like a 50-50 ball situation that you want to see your outside receiver go up and grab. There was a replay they showed on the broadcast where like you can basically see the ball kind of go through his hands, Meeks' hands. And then this lad drifts a little too much on that. It definitely was, it could have been a better throw, but I also kind of would think that if Georgia's not up 21, this is probably called as pass interference because this dude just kind of like sets a pick on McConkey and keeps him from being able to move back towards the ball.
Yeah, I mean he's looking back there, I think the case can be made that he got his head around late and he could have been playing the ball, but yeah, you're not going to get it up 21. Next drive, 68.
Yeah, good work by Ratledge and McClendon here on the right side of the line. 69 and 70 here, right tackle and right guard. Just they create a big hole here, and I love the way McIntosh hits this, and Jackson comes down and gets a nice downfield block as well.
And McConkey wasn't left out, even though the play was over. He still got it. He still hit somebody.
It's his thing, man. And then Monken is going to set this up. So that play we were talking, this is second half now, but if you can actually go back to, well, we'll see it. We'll see it on the replay. But that pre-snap motion here that we showed earlier with Remember how we saw the fake to Milton and that little toss out to Ladd off that type of motion on the first drive, where I said, let's mentally bookmark this. So I think right here you're going to see the backside angle on this play.
This was going to be on the quiz. That's Dog Out West for this is going to be on the quiz. Here we go. Here's
No, it's just, I mean, it's Monken like does this throughout the game. Like he plays these little head games with linebackers and safeties and shows them things. This is once again like you've got Truss pulling there as a left guard over to the right side. Like this reads run, and it's not.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize it's on the same clip. So I just wanted to play it back real speed from behind for the sickos out there.
Sicko
mode. Then after this plays, you ready for the next one?
Yep.
Oh, this isn't slow-mo on the broadcast too. Oh, well.
It's okay.
I'm going to just be stupid here, but I cut it off. When he was rumbling down, he's so big, he looks like, a 2014 EA Sports character, but he's still fast.
He looks like a creative player, like Heisman fullback or something. Yeah. Oh, so this is well blocked, and Milton just doesn't really make a quick enough decision or kind of bounce it outside fast enough. And then, I think the concern for me is 10 carries, 0 broken tackles for Kendall Milton on Saturday. And it might just be a bad day, right? Like I talked about this in 12 takeaways a little bit. Like it might just be a bad day.
Yeah. That one was definitely, I mean, that one felt like
I don't think he's 100% healthy.
Yeah, that one felt like a velocity issue. That's exactly what I was going to say. That cut was not crisp, and then the acceleration was not there. For whatever it's worth.
And then, just Davian Edwards looks very in comparison. And then he comes out, he had 4 broken tackles on the day, I think, on like 6 series. I think he's warranting more touches in the run game. Good fake right here. Good route. Good ball. And Milton almost bust that. But, I mean, that's another one where lots of space, almost turns it into a long touchdown.
Yeah, you could tell he wanted it, but defender got his ankles there.
Yeah. And then this is dual threat Heisman candidate Stetson Bennett.
May have heard of him.
This is Stetson with a fade. Stickwavius. I mean, watch the
sticks a foot in the ground. Boop.
And then we get the head bob.
He is extremely agile, though. You were talking about that earlier, John.
It's that. I mean, that is incredibly athletic and hard to do. And there's not a lot of quarterbacks.
I was like, Coach 30, or I was like, he's on it. Coach Brandon's on it. Immediately.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of quarterbacks, even in the SEC, as athletic and gifted as some of those quarterbacks are. There's not a lot that can do that. Where you get a guy going full speed and then that cut. Yeah, so nice.
I honestly feel bad for that dude. Not really.
No.
All right, so here
I've sat in the top of Williams-Brice Stadium and watched Georgia lose. I don't feel bad for that guy.
Branson here, showing off some speed to get to the edge. Nice run by him. Getting 10. Almost breaks that last tackle. But this is are we on 87?
We are 87.
Yeah, so this was Kirby's like FU present to Frank Beamer. I'm sorry, to Shane Beamer.
And Frank Beamer
I thought that this was kind of a microcosm on where the two programs are. Like South Carolina Twitter started the hashtag We Want Delp movement last year. It was like a big thing. It was trending. Shane Beamer, talking at SEC Media Days, basically directly to Delp about how they're going to feature the tight end, and his first career reception. Bryce.
Yeah.
Like he's a luxury to South Carolina. He's something they desperately needed and couldn't get. So
got to stay.
Yeah.
Got to stay.
All right. Right here, I want you to watch Marius Mims in at right tackle. Every time they run to his side, it seems like he's getting a good seal. Like he just comes in here and collapses down on this edge, makes this look pretty elementary. And Branson's got a lot of room to work. And then I like this Branson too. Yeah, I do. I want to see more Branson as well. And he just kind of, the way he finishes runs is pretty impressive. Right there, he doesn't get the full fall forward, but you're going to see another play in a second where he does. And then probably the most surprising play of the day, quite possibly, is this one right here. Oh, wait.
Which one do you want to see? That's 99.
98.
98. Oh, yeah. This is, Beck running.
Yeah, the Carson Beck open field, like old school Madden truck stick, where he hits the right button right there and knocks this dude on his ass. I was like, wait a second here. But yeah, this was 99. Morissette's a guy we've heard a lot about since, spring practice and throughout fall camp. He's been a little dinged up, back in the lineup now. I think we're going to see a lot of him over the next couple of years, but that dude's got some wiggle, man. Like he's making people miss in tight spaces.
And 102.
Yep. So this is another Branson run. And this is just kind of like, this looks like a SEC running back to me, just the way he's going to hit this hole and the way he's going to finish this run. He's patient, kind of picks through there, and then just basically carries defenders 5 yards after contact and driving the pile forward. We're into the deep cuts here, but I put a note on the Dog Central board a couple weeks back about how Cash Jones had been getting a lot of praise in practice and how he was probably going to get some love and see some time on special teams. And, they gave him some nice touches in this game late. And I also thought it was interesting. Watch how the sideline kind of reacts right here as he finishes this run. Like,
yeah, I noticed a couple times, and I even noticed that in the Stanford game, the last play of the game, Jalen Carter was on the sideline, was the first one, congratulating those guys that were still on the field and invested in the game and stuff. It was pretty cool to see. It seems like there's a lot of buy-in on this team, to sound like a cliche, but
well, that's been Kirby's mantra, right? Like Kirby's mantra has been team culture over everything. So he has guys believing in that, and that's in some cases that's a pretty unique thing, believe it or not, in 2022 college football.
All right, 105, Graham.
Yeah. Cole Spear, our first time ever seeing him really play.
Calhoun, Georgia, Cole Spear. Shout out Calhoun.
Yeah. This is baby lad right here. Not just because he's white, but
he can. It's because his name is Cole. He can fly. He can fly. He can absolutely fly.
Yeah, he's quick.
Oh, painful. Tough.
This was a perfect throw from Beck. I mean, like, shout outs to Beck. He played really well in this game, I thought.
Yeah.
And it also kind of broke my heart because I had predicted Georgia to put up 52, and one catch away from it.
All right. On to the defense. Anything else we want to say on that? We run of plays before we move on to the D.
I'm good. If you guys,
okay.
It was a master class. I think. Just a beautiful thing to behold.
One of the best, most efficient games in the 2000s for the Georgia offense. 73% success rate. Yeah. And the only time higher was in 2015 versus South Carolina, and that was at home. So
the Grayson Lambert game.
The Grayson Lambert game. Okay, defense. I have clip 2, Graham.
Yeah, so Rattler, watch. This is interesting pre-snap. You're going to watch as Rattler checks, and Dumas Johnson tells Mondon take the H-back, who is Jaheim Bell, on the wheel route. And Mondon and Smith are switching assignments. He's taking Bell. JDJ is going to hit this blitz. Dumas Johnson try and force the ball out. Point here is these guys are young, and 3 games in, like, they are communicating very well pre-snap, and they are understanding assignments. They are switching assignments situationally when it makes sense. Dumas Johnson's just kind of like he's turning into that quarterback here. You see it again right here on this next clip. Like, he's always moving people around. He's going to make a really good read here too. Just doesn't quite. Mondon doesn't fill this whole. Like, he's watching the backside here, which is his job, but he doesn't get back into the play. And wait, what clip is this?
No, that was 4. You want to look at 3 again? Sorry.
Yeah.
Jog.
It's all right.
Here's 3. No, it's okay. I thought I want. Never mind. Here we go.
Yeah, it's just watch Mondon here. He kind of doesn't quite react quick enough. I mean, it's not a big game, but this is where we're at with Georgia's defense. We kind of have to nitpick these things. Clip 4, Malachi Starks is going to come down here, downhill, fill this run lane on 3rd and 6. Like, just picture perfect. And watch how Nolan Smith crashes this guard.
Yeah. It was the first 3rd down of the game, and when I saw South Carolina line up in that Wildcat, I knew that they were cooked, man. Shane Beamer, who I don't have any problem with Shane as a motivational guy or whatever, but the game plan was not very good.
What kind of question is that?
It was not very good. I mean, as soon as, I don't know. We'll talk about it as we get deeper into this defensive film review, but their game plan, credit to Georgia for the way that these young guys are playing for sure. But South Carolina, they were trying mismatches that were never going to be there from the beginning. And it just,
so watch.
Here's 15.
Yeah.
Watch Beal here. He's actually lined up out wide over the slot receiver on the bottom.
Yeah.
And he's going to push so far upfield that Rattler can't throw this screen on time because he's in the lane, and Rattler's got to run out to make the angle, and then everybody's over there crashing onto
you have 2 guys unblocked before the ball's even out, like over there to make the play. It just was not the game plan was just not good.
No. And they tried this kind of throw it up thing. This is a dime by Spencer Rattler, honestly. Like, this is a
very
perfect
good
throw.
Very good throw.
Lassiter, not terrible coverage, just doesn't get his head around. I don't know that it would have mattered, though, honestly. So this is the INT by – I'm sorry, clip 18. This is the INT by Starks. And a lot has been made of Rattler, like, trying to throw this stop fade on a wheel route and how he shouldn't have done it. But not enough has been made of the fact that Starks being in perfect position in terms of coverage is what made him try to throw that stop fade.
Yeah.
Like, he played the angles on that very, very well. He's in a spot where you're not going to be able to lead that running back. And so that's why Rattler attempted what he attempted.
Yeah, and the running back did him no favors because you're taught there if the defender is in that position, you're taught to come back to the ball. So Spencer Rattler was doing the right thing, but yeah, Malachi Starks just played it too well. There was nothing you could do.
24.
Yeah. All right, Dumas Johnson. The light is really coming on for him. This is kind of unfair. He's going to get on the wrong side of the blocker in the hole here. I want you to watch this. And when that happens, this run should pop, right? And he just bends back the other way, and he's going to grab this running back by the ankle. Like, that's just really athletic. A lot of bend.
25 next play.
Yeah, so Georgia's kind of caught here. They've got one guy stuck between two players on the fake. South Carolina should be able to make a big play here, but Nolan Smith just basically handle like he kind of fades inside, which forces the player, and then he just uses his athleticism to beat it. That's going to be a better angle on it. But that's just a lot of like film study, football IQ experience from Nolan.
Yep.
26.
Michael, just, I thought Michael we heard a lot about all summer. Didn't really impress against Oregon. Not that he was bad, but just didn't flash a ton. But some of these young guys we kind of heard buzz about, like we're starting to see more and more.
Here's the fake.
This is the fake punt. Dude, this is an incredible play from the punter. Like he stares off Darius Smith, number 19, gets him to bite that way to the left, to the camera left here.
Opens up the middle.
Opens up the middle, yeah.
Yeah, Starks trailing.
Kroger, I believe, is the punter's name. PFF for the week, 70.7 quarterback grade or PFF grade.
Nice. Maybe, never mind.
28.
Not going to make a Spencer Rattler joke.
Yeah, so Stackhouse, 78, the defensive tackle, gets kind of washed out here. Mondon was good in run support on Saturday, but on this play, he crashes into the wrong gap and kind of gets blocked out of the play. This is just sort of a rare run fit mistake from Georgia's front seven.
Yeah, 30% success rate on
the back, but
31% success rate allowed on the day. Not many misses, but that was one of them.
Yeah, so this is a cool play right here. Watch Javon Bullard. He's going to recognize this toss from film study, and he's going to, he's signaling around, yelling at his guys, but he is damn sure that he is not going to get out leveraged to the short side of the formation. Comes out there, gets in the way of everything, strings it out. Little dude being scrappy, taking on guards and offensive tackles and stuff in SEC play. And
I mean, that is the definition of gap integrity, playing your assignment, getting in the way. even though he got taken for a ride a little bit, it's like, man, just getting in the way is 80% of playing good defense.
For sure. So look at this A-gap blitz from Mondon here. This is a 3rd and long. And I think they think it's going to be a passing situation, but it's interesting to see him. Like him and Jalen Carter are both stand up, ready to blitz, as well as Nolan Smith. They ended up deciding to run it, and so he's there to make that tackle. But like,
it's filthy.
Yeah, he shoots that quick.
32,
and then. Yeah, so you're going to
cool. You can actually see the clips.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So this is the blitz from Starks off the edge on the bottom here. And it basically gets Rattler enough off his spot to not hit that receiver in stride, which allows Ringo to make that play. He might have made the play anyways, but it's just like a little...
Watch number 16 at the top of the screen here on the right side there. He lets you know what he feels about this play right there. Kirby Graham.
Cursed down.
FDMF.
43. Hashtag FDMF. 42. Josh.
I don't have 42. Can you do 43?
Yeah, that's fine. 42, Chris Smith, I saw you. Good play. 43, this is a bad whiff by Chambliss in the open field. You're going to see him. He's going to shift over here to the right side. And then the run is going to – or I'm sorry, it's a little screen pass. Yeah.
Okay. We could show it again, but here we go. He should make this
All
play.
There we
Moving
go.
on. 47.
All right. Trezman Marshall had a really nice day on Saturday. Another inside linebacker A-gap blitz. We saw a lot of this, kind of reminiscent of last year with Nakobe. Not saying Trezman Marshall is Nakobe, but just particularly Dumas Johnson on some of those A-gap blitzes. Like, they looked very similar to each other. But yeah, that's a linebacker basically bull rushing an offensive lineman and winning. Not supposed to happen in football. Yeah.
52.
Ingram Dawkins is going to play this mesh point perfectly. Oop. Yeah. So, yeah, he's just like shades outside enough to force the handoff, but keeps himself in a place where he can attack the running back after the handoff. That's a good play by a first-year contributor. Exactly what you want him to do on that play. Most edge guys are going to bite or overplay it, get themselves out of position.
It's 53.
And this is kind of the Ingram Dawkins section of the highlights here. Again, he's going to have really good quickness here on the bottom, 93, jump in the backfield. Doesn't quite make the play, but he strings it out. He's getting penetration. I think he's about to kind of blow up a little bit. And then this is 54, and this is him again. Like jumping off the ball quick. This was a dominant 3 down. I mean, this is 3 straight downs. Same guy, basically blowing up 3 plays in a row. It's an impressive series by him. Yeah, that's Nolan 71. Smith. Yeah, if you try to run block Nolan Smith with a tight end, it's not going to go well for you.
Yeah. Is that Stogner or whatever?
I think so. Yeah.
19.
And then this is the interception. 85 is going to be the interception from Jackson. But nice pass rush by Mondon. Dan reads this like a book, closes quickly, and it's impressive for him to out-jump Jaheim Bell on a 50-50 ball, pull it down.
Yeah, okay. I remember letting this one breathe because we like Dirty Dan. Just crazy.
Special place in my heart for Dirty Dan.
100%.
91.
Yeah, another Ingram Dawkins play. Watch him. So he's the edge at the top, and he's doing a really good job of like seeing into as he plays things. And he doesn't make the tackle here, but like he gets wide so quick and kind of strings this thing out. Good play by Brinson as well, getting in there. But Georgia's defense is so fast on the back end with the linebackers and the safeties that if these defensive linemen are able to make something move laterally, even for a split second, it kind of blows everything up. Like these linebackers are going to close.
Yeah, and what we heard during the offseason, right, is we heard a lot of press about Tyrone Ingram Dawkins from from practice reports, from what was happening in fall camp, from the offseason that he had. There was a lot of hype around him coming into this season from folks inside the program. What we're seeing, I think, in the third game is his technique is finally following a lot of that physicality and the hype that we heard in the offseason, because he's using his hands well, he's using his feet well, he's all of that stuff continues to get better week after week if you watch him play, and that's pretty dangerous on an already dominant defense. So
here's 93 Graham.
Absolutely. Yeah, impressive to see these backups get push in the middle on 4th and 1 like this. That's Kristen Miller and Zion Logan there. And Miller's kind of shined in late game snaps a lot lately.
17 and 18, last bringing us home.
Yeah, just good coverage from Everett at the bottom. He gave up a kind of big play in the fourth quarter last week against Sanford in a similar type of throw situation. So nice job by him. And then this is to the next play here. You know, this is the interception by Marshall, and Davis is going to do a really good job. Another inside linebacker, A-gap blitz, and forces that back throw. Marshall picks it off.
I think some stats are going to come up here.
Man, what a good play by Trezman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are from Sunday's blog post. Yeah, 8.7 yards play, plus 3.9 net for the day, 57.57 EPA. Those are ridiculous numbers. I mean, that's to show you how good the 2019 and 2020 LSU and Alabama teams were. This is what they had for the season. So that efficiency, if we can, and we're close to that. I mean, this offense is just ridiculous, and the season's young yet. As I talked about, 73% success rate, 31% success rate allowed. Again, ridiculous. We just can't ask for anything more. You really can't. Run pass splits. You can see, 6.4 yards a rush, 11.3 yards per pass. I mean, they're literally almost doubling up what they're allowing on defense. 81% success rate rushing the ball. That seems crazy. But yeah, it's not flashy running, but it's getting the job done. And I talked about it in the blog post today, the offensive line yards, which basically they're just a number trying to attribute what the offensive line is giving you. Obviously, when you're downfield in open space, those are all about running back and skill. But the first 2.9 yards per rush are attributed to the offensive line. So if you go negative, they count those against you. If you get to that point, you get all those yards. Georgia's set 5th in the country in that stat. It goes to show you that even if you're not flashy, you're still going to be successful running the ball at 81% for the game. That's going to help your passing game out a lot, which doesn't really need it. Here's some of the receiver metrics. All of them above 60%, except for Dylan Bell, a 50% success rate when he's targeted. McConkey and Kenny McIntosh are just, and Bowers and Jackson all, and Darnell Washington, with 6 targets and 83% success rate. I mean, there's just this entire list is absurd. And those are also on the blog if you want to check those out in more detail. Here's the splits by down. It's kind of a flip from the Oregon game where Georgia was kind of pedestrian on the first down and then super explosive on third down. 11 yards of play on first down, and obviously that Bowers play, kind of in a 1-game sample, will throw that number. But regardless, they were extremely efficient on first down. And then 7 yards of play on second down, and then third down they were probably in a lot of third and shorts when they were, and they got those first downs. A lot, 55% of the time. That's a pretty good conversion rate on third down, and allowing 28%, 29% roughly on third down for the Gamecocks. Pretty good. And here's some of those rushing metrics. I don't know if, we talked about Branson Robinson. I want to see him more. He's getting the ball 5 yards a carry and 11 attempts, a 63% success rate. Same with Edwards, 14 attempts, 57% success rate, over 5 yards a carry. Interesting, Kenny McIntosh's actually yards per carry aren't as good as you would expect, but obviously we showed about how explosive he is in the passing game. And Kendall Milton, is averaging 6 yards a carry and 67% success rate on 28 carries. So, but we talked about sort of want to see him do something a little more explosive, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, like against Sanford, I think he had 10 carries for 75 yards. And he had a nice game against Oregon as well. On a field against an SEC defense, it seemed like he just looked a little bit different than he had the 2 weeks prior. But that can obviously change.
Yeah, and I think for me, you're in a situation where what Georgia hasn't seen, and I didn't expect it from South Carolina, but Georgia hasn't seen a real physical team yet. And you look at the schedule, and I'm not sure. I think it's going to be a minute before Georgia actually sees a real physical team. But at the end of the day, I think that's where Kendall Milton's running style, at least what he's shown so far this year, I think that's where, if it's going to be a problem, it could potentially be a problem in those areas, right? When you have a real physical defense that's coming downhill and punishing, and you got to break tackles. We'll see if he can get some improvement before then.
100%.
All right, Graham, you just threw 67 plays at us, and there was like 137 clips in the file. So,
Sorry.
Dog Out West. No, do not apologize. That was a incredible. I mean, this is what we want. We talk about it all the time. We want to provide content, and we want to have some commentary and some fun too. But it's all about having good content, and you broke it down all the way to the fourth quarter, offense and defense. So, big shout out to you, sir.
Thank you.
All these stats I threw out there are on the website, so please check out my blog. It's in the news and notes section right next to the forum, and the forum is where you get subscriber only detail and can talk about and ask questions. And then the blogs are right now behind, not behind the paywall, so we're sharing that with you guys. But we really want you guys to be subscribers, so we're going to open up some more interactive content. We had the show on Sunday night where we had some dudes join this, Will, and we'd like to grow that some more.
Mm-hmm.
What else is going on with you guys this week? Anything of note before we start talking about Kent State?
Nah.
Yeah, I think.
I'm sorry.
Go for it. Go for it, Graham.
Or John.
Yeah, I think just we'll have full practice notes. We'll have all the things. It's Kent State, but there's still a lot of things that we are going to talk about on the forum and in the blog posts related to, like we just talked about. I mean, Georgia won 48-7 versus South Carolina, but as you hopefully picked up on in the film breakdown, that there's a lot of things that Georgia can get better, and there's a lot of this team is not the team that it's going to be by the end of the season or even the middle of the season, and so I'm excited to keep digging into how the team continues to improve, keep digging into what we're hearing from practice, what we're hearing from inside the program. So,
yeah, no, I was just say we've got a lot going on over at Dog Central. About to have a practice report go up there here in about 10 minutes. So come check it out. If you haven't subscribed, come see us.
All right. With that, we'll get out of here, and we will see you guys soon. Breakdowns and Ask Dog Central coming up later in this week. And, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.